We're now inside the MATLAB environment, and we're going to be using MATLAB to illustrate some of these pixel modification algorithms that we just described, and also some of those that we're going to see in the next video. MATLAB is a great software to do image processing. Of course, you don't need to have MATLAB to understand what I'm going to show you next, or you don't need to know how to program in MATLAB. It's very intuitive, and it's going to be very simple for us to understand the commands that I'm going to do. The first command is basically reading an image. As we see here, we are reading the image. The next command is going to have a number of steps, which I'm going to show you next. I'm going to first create a figure and show the image on that figure. Then I create a second figure, and I'm going to show you the histogram of that image. And I'm going to keep creating figures to illustrate the other operations I want to show you. One of them is going to be the inversion of that image, 255 minus I. And the last thing I want to show you is the histogram of that image. You can start thinking how the histogram of the inversion compares to the histogram of the original image. Let's see that. Let's just show all those figures one after the other. I'm going to move them so it makes it easier for us to observe those images, those figures. And I'm going to tell you what each one of them is. So here is the original image, and this is its histogram. And we see the image is pretty dark, so we see a large concentration of dark values. Here is the inversion of the image. We basically have flipped all the image values, and look what happened to the histogram. The histogram also has flipped. Basically, what was here, it moved to here, as we have expected, because we are just flipping the pixels. We're not making any other change, but flipping the pixel values. So it's a very simple operation, and we see what's happening to the histogram. Let's now see another operation that we're going to describe in detail in the next video, and it's going to be what's called histogram equalization. I'm going to look for the command to do the histogram equalization and to show that to you. And that's going to be here. Once again, I'm going to show you the image and its histogram as before. Now I'm going to show you the equalize image, and I'm going to illustrate what that means and also the histogram. So again, we're going to have four figures. And I think you're starting to guess what's happening here. As before, we have the original image, its histogram. We see the histogram very concentrated on the left. Here, we have the result of what's called histogram equalization. What we are trying to do here is to make this histogram looks more uniform. Look at here how instead of being concentrated in the low values, showing that this is a very dark image, we spread the pixels values so there is better exploitation of all the gamut of values from 0 to 256, instead of here that there was almost no pixels with this value. That histogram equalization helps us to see details that we couldn't see before, like this region of the tire. So it's a very powerful operation to be able to basically see details in the image that because of the bad use of the spectrum of gray values we couldn't see before. What we are going to see next is how we actually mathematically do this operation. So see you in the next video.